Hello, hello, hello. Today we are gonna go over one of the many loot boxes tanks, since Christmas is upon us here in Wall of Tanks. And we are gonna go over the tank called Char MLE 75. I can't remember what MLE stands for, or MLE, but this French Tier 9 Premium light tank, finally we're getting a light tank up here with, you know, what we usually get is a heavy or a medium, anything that's 9 or 10. They always release those type of two vehicles, or tank destroyers. Light tanks, they don't get much love. But finally we're getting a light tank here on the higher tier as a premium tank slash reward tank, but this is a premium tank. What we're looking at right now is a Char 4 that has no idea that he's spotted by me, which is a reward tank if you compare it to this one. But let's just jump into it straight on. The gun is the most interesting thing here. As you can see, there's not many guns like these ones. It's more like usually the anti-aircraft guns. They have this kind of burst thing going on. Well, this one do 200 per shot, but it fires 3 per fire. Every time you click fire, you shoot 3 times. So you can do up to 600 damage with it. And it has a, well, you guessed it, it's a long reload. It's a roughly 40 seconds plus reload. I think you can get down to like 38 something, I believe. But the camo seems to kind of hold up. Remember, this is a full camo build as well on my Char 75, I'm just gonna call it. But I thought this game is not gonna be so much spotting, it's more gonna be checking out the gun. And there are 263 spotting me, and you know what? I'm gonna shoot him back. I hoped. But it's a rough tank to snipe from distance. Because of these 3 shells, you wanna really be up close and personal if you can. This lover seems to be peeking here, so let's go. Let's do 3 shells on him as well. Here we go. Okay, well, as you can see, it's quite rough when it comes into this, like even mid-distance, the shells just goes haywire. But we do, like I said, we do 200, is our alpha. With the AP pen, you have also 200. With APCR, you have 240. And I forgot to check up the shell velocity. And the shells seems to be relatively moderate speed, like average, actually. And the thing is, like with this long reload around 30 seconds, 40 seconds, you do have this a long downtime that you can do. It's sort of a want to be a hit and run tank kind of thing. Oh, I forgot to mention the HE is 370 alpha, so it's kind of big distance between the alpha of the AP and the alpha of the HE, and you have 53 pen with the HE as well. So when you get, you know, maybe RHM or an FV 4005 and you close up, you can have that HE clip ready and just absolutely demolish it super quick. But as you can see what I'm doing, I don't have any HE in this tank because I will be using the gun a lot, and it will be I'm gonna use up the shells rather quickly with this thing. And I would like to know that I will pen. I don't want to have a HE clip that I will not use ever, actually. The gun depression is -8, which is okay, it's good. It's good enough, I would say, but it's -8. You have a gun elevation of 15 though, so you can really aim up. The standard dispersion is 0.36, so it's not too bad, but like I said, we don't really want to fire on distance if we don't have a like mega huge target, like a mouse side. The aim time is a little bit slow, I would say. It's a 2.68 is a base aim time. This kind of situation is perfect. With those 3 shots and back off. So the thing is though that you are very quick around, very quick turret as you can see, but as soon as you move the hull as well, your gun handling just blooms out big time. And that's where this long aim time comes in with a problem. And we managed to bounce that on our upper frontal plate. It's a very steep upper frontal plate on this tank, but it's not really heavily armored. It's only got 60. The turret got 50. So this thing, ooh, it's gonna get chewed up by HE shooters. Ooh, it's gonna get chewed up by a lot of HE shooters. Well, we talked a lot about the gun and a little bit about the armor. The one thing though that's sort of sticking out with this tank is the two modes. I like to call it fighting mode and mobility mode. What I'm using now is obviously the fighting mode, when you have that white sort of wheel there. That's when I think what's happening with the tank is that you get a excellent turret mobility, like turret turning and such, and you get probably a little bit better aim time as well, and you also get more view range, which might come in handy to know. So when you are in the sort of mobility mode, when you go faster, you have actually less view range than you have when you're in the fighting mode. So it's very important to switch back. The switching back and forth is also a different timer. Switching to the mobility mode takes you 1 second, but switching to the fighting mode takes you 3 seconds. So you have to really set up the tank before. Here we got some excellent shooting. And then we have the RNG afterwards. Already popped my fuel tank and repairing that. For some reason I'm not switching over here to the faster mode, because I feel like, oh, I'm just gonna move up close and shoot this clip. The game is almost over. Oh, as I thought. The guy leaves the cap. So you kind of want to switch between these two modes when you always do some type of this maneuver, I would say. This, you know, moving up and such. But you're still going 55, which is not that bad. And you got full control of your tank as well. I can already say now that tank is not a good tank, but I must say I like the tank. It's one of those fun, unique, oddity tanks, and I am a sucker for those type of tanks. It's a very tough tank to play as well, to kind of master, I would say. But we are gonna hop into the next round here. We're not gonna stick around because the game is over. And here we are in the next round, and I'm fiddling around with the buttons here a little bit to check out the, you know, different timings when you switch around. But we are gonna quickly go into the mobility mode here on Fjords, and we're gonna rush up north, because it's like the only place you can really work with the light tank on this map. And my recording actually disappeared, or got faulty audio, so I have to re-record this, and I can't remember what I talked about during the record. But here we have we're getting spotted right away. It's kind of a nice thing to do when you're kind of rushing like this and you get spotted that early. We are setting up that we're gonna ambush them a little bit, because we know he's sitting exactly where I'm looking at, on the other side of this ridge. And it's kind of telling. So we see here if we can find him. We don't have the best view range, or we are not best spotter, but it seems like he moved, or he did not stay in the bush all the time. We have a nice little surprise here. Ooh. And I think the tank destroyers had even a nicer surprise. We take that spotting. Fjords can be a tough map when it comes to spotting, but we take every little spotting we can get. And he disappeared, so we're trying to find him, going back and forth, and there we have the small gap between the trees. And he's taken out. Now we're gonna check if there is something up here shooting, and yes, there's a leopard. We're gonna set up our little gun here. Fully aimed. As you can see, there was also a 3-shot there. We take it. As you can see, the sort of gun handling is not the best after you turned and then you set up to shoot. Well, aim time, I should say. Gun handling is kind of fine here. It's more like when you want to move, how you kind of judge the gun handling if it's bad or good. But you can see it blooms out quite a bit. And it seems like this Fjords game is going rather rapidly. We already pushed this out. We already... Most of the enemies in the dip, they are absolutely stuck in that dip. So getting some nice spotting on this leopard as well. Very unnormal, I would say. But we take the kill. I would say unnormal because you don't usually get spotting. And as soon as we reload, the RU appears. Oh, we're a little bit of a conundrum here. We can't kill the RU with our entire clip, with the double burst. So it would be really good if I actually got in those shots. If I had those 3 shots there, or the last bit of clip before the RU, before I pressed reload. So I would be able to just go up and kill him real quickly. But I'm thinking here, if I ram him and clip him, we have him. So I'm just building up. I'm just making sure I'm not going to be spotted by K91. I'm in the speed mode, where the turret moves a little bit slow. Actually, it moves very, very, very slow. Super slow. Now, I don't know what I'm waiting for. I think something... I think I had to do something tabbed out. And here we go, full speed. We know that we can kill this RU if we ram him and do damage. So we want to make sure we set up the gun perfectly. There we have it. Good ram, and the RU is dead. Chevy took that hit from the PTA. Oh, here comes the Batchet as well. We need to set this up. He got in the... but hey, we managed to take them both out with the ram. I like that, I like that. It's a shame that the Batchet got in that last shot on us, but I think we nailed it. I think we had a really good spotting game here on Fjords, considering how epically fast this game was. It's not even 4 minutes long and it's over. Wow. All right, let's hop into the garage, I think. To quickly showcase that you do get 2 different set of view range in the tank. Here I have just enough view range, almost enough to have full view range. But you can see in the mobility mode, the circle, the green circle, is not lining up with the white circle, so I do not have full view range. I think I have 441. This build is with an optics, bird stab, and a turbo, I believe. But you can see as soon as I switch over to the gun mode or the fighting mode, boom, full view range. You do have 2 different sets of view range that can show a little bit wrong in the garage. It's very alert that when you pick your crew, pick your equipment, well, also pick your crew and such, that you pick, so you can actually be a little bit below the view range as well, because in the fight mode you get the full view range. But, you know, if you want to have the full spotting, if you want to have full spotting, you gotta pick good crew. I have no idea what's going on with these outlines. My God, what am I looking at? This is a weird bug, but this I just want to showcase real quickly. Let's hop into the garage. In the garage, like always, we go over the crew, equipment, shells, consumables, and field modification. The crew is a 3-man crew. We have the commander, gunner, and driver. Commander is a radio man and a loader. The gunner is also a loader. So intuition is getting kinda jammed in there, unfortunately. But if you start with the commander, we would like to obviously pick Brothers in Arms, Camouflage, Situational Awareness, Recon, and then for lastly, maybe we sneak in Sound Detection. Maybe Sound Detection before one of the view range, just so we have it. Maybe even Camouflage, but I think Camouflage is very important for this tank. Otherwise, it's going to be a very hard time for you to do things with it. But the Sound Detection is going to be kind of important for this tank as well, because it's a very flat-bedded tank, like artillery. Oh, they're gonna have a field day when you get spotted with this tank, because you are kind of a large tank, and I mean, you're larger than what it seems. You can see here that the tank actually is only this sort of shape. This is just extra. It doesn't even show on them sort of as armor-wise. So you are looking like a big target, but you're not. But artillery doesn't care. They will want to shoot you. Plus, you have almost no armor, so they will pen you as well. But for the crew, again, for the gunner, we want to pick Brothers in Arms, Camouflage, Snapshot, Repair, and then Intuition, just so we have it. Maybe we have a build or a set of shells when we have 1 HE clip and want to quickly switch it over. You could maybe pick Deadeye. You fire 3 shells in a rapid way, but I would not do that actually. But maybe, you know, if the 5th skill for the gunner doesn't really matter too much. But the driver, we would like to have, like always, we have Brothers in Arms, Camouflage, so off-road driving, Smooth Ride. You can switch them though, take Smooth Ride then off-road driving. It doesn't matter too much. It matters a little bit, but not too much. And then for the 5th one, we want to have Repair. You could also sneak in a Control Impact, like you saw me what I did on Fjords there, when I rushed to RU. The Control Impact actually matters then, because you are going to run out of shells, and you need to do something to stay alive, and that something is to ram the enemy. But to go over the equipment, I like to just go very standard, basic here. Optics, vertical stabilizer, and ventilation. On the simple terms, full view range, gun handling, and then a little bit of a boost of everything. It's kind of fine in this circumstance. We kind of push down the reload a little bit as well. For the second set of equipment, that is completely up for books. But I think you basically always pick optics and vert stab. Those are two fundamental. The last one I tried with turbo. It was faster, but it didn't really change too much. You could easily change this for a CVS as well, just to have that extra spotting when we get a spotting map. That's something I might actually do when I'm trying to mark this tank. Or you sneak in, what was that build? That was, I think it was with improved hardening, just to sneak in that extra hit points when we get a bad map with the light tank. Just to get that, how much hit points is it? If we check, we earn 100 hit points flat out. So it's 100 more hit points, maybe. But it's just like however you want to play your little light tank. For shells though, I like to have 2418. I thought that was kind of good. You can just go full APCR with this thing and be perfectly fine. Then you don't really have to care about when you're reloading and such, how many shells you have left. Or you'd go with one extra HE clip for your secondary or alternative loadout. For that extra yummy HE. Who knows if we find an RHM or not. And then we pick food, because we're gonna need food for the full view range. And a repair and first aid kit. For the field modification, I think this tank is one of the simplest one. Do we really need more top speed? When we have even a speed mode, we don't. And we don't wanna hurt our sort of engine power as well. That doesn't really matter. We are very quick on the line. We're very quick with the turning. The next one is probably a little bit important actually. A little bit reduced with the aiming time, but we get that dispersion down a little bit more. It helps us a little bit with this mid-distance shooting, but not much, but it's a little bit. The increased reload is hurting us though, because it does add over a second on the tank. But then again, you have such a long reload, you're gonna be shooting your, well, two clips. How do you say it? Two burst clips? You're gonna shoot your burst kind of quickly, but you're gonna be quick on the reload and running away. But you know, then you're gonna sneak around and see where else you can go and shoot. So the reload does not matter too much. It's always gonna be a long reload. And increasing it 3% more for that worse aim, maybe not. Maybe it's gonna be some more testing when I'm playing it live. For the next one, we don't need more reverse speed. We have 20 already, which what I like to call the magical number for the reverse speed. You can maybe pick more, but this I don't think is gonna be so good, because people are gonna realize that this tank has no armor in the front. 60 hull, okay, it's very angled, but it's nothing on the side, so people are gonna shoot HE like crazy on this thing. Or for obvious boost, we take the firepower, boost up the vert stab, make sure we have a good gun handling going on there. For the next one, I would only really take the view range here if I lack the view range overall. I would only take that. Otherwise, I would leave this one. So that's my little review of the Char MLE 75. It doesn't call what MLE stands for? Oh, dang. But anyway, that was my little review of the Char MLE 75. I have to say that this tank is probably not going to be the best light tank out there. It's going to be more of the more unique light tanks. I think I had a lot of fun playing it. So I think it's going to be more of those kind of fun, unique oddity of a tank out there. I hope they liked it, and I will be doing way more reviews of all the other Christmas tanks that are coming out there. So stay tuned. Have a good day.